Well, good morning, Julia. We are gathered here in order to have an academic interview about the short story Yellow Wallpaper written by Charlotte Perkins Hillman.
Okay.
As
Yes.
you already know. I would like to start this interview asking you in which movement do you think the short story can be classified?
Okay, so taking into account that this short story was written in the 19th century, I consider that we can classify this story together in the Romantic and the Realist movement, both, in the same movements.
So, which are the elements that lead us to believe that this short story belongs to this movement?
Firstly, let's talk about the Romantic movement. So in this case, we have some elements that portray this movement that are, for example, that the inner feelings of the persons are gaining importance in literature because before the 19th century, literature didn't give importance to this kind of issues. And in this story, we have depression and a woman who is haunted within her own thoughts, and this have importance in the development of the story. This is the important part of it. Moreover, we have a mystery component, the fact that the wallpaper becomes alive for the narrator and she keeps seeing things, and also the fact that we use nature as a reflection of the reality that the character is living. So in this case, we can see that she's being trapped in her marriage by the fact of how she sees or she considers the wallpaper is becoming or is moving or this stuff. And the naturalist movement can be portrayed by the fact that it also deals with mental issues, like in this case we have depression, and the fact that literature wants to portray the negative part of society. And in this case, the author wants to show that some marriages were bad for women because they were subordinate to men's power.
Okay, so in your opinion, which is what do you think that the yellow wallpaper represents in the story?
Yes, the fact that when the narrator comes into the house, she has to live in just one bedroom, and the wallpaper is surrounding her. She has to rest. She cannot write or she cannot think because her husband advises her to do nothing. So this person becomes obsessed with the wallpaper, and with the development of time, we can see that she starts to see things in the wallpaper, and at the end, she becomes mad and she can see women who are trapped behind some bars in the wallpaper, and she wants to free them. So in a way, it's a metaphor of her own life because it's a reflection of the fact that she is trapped in the house and she cannot escape. So I think that this wallpaper depicts the fact that in some marriages women are tied to the husband's life and they don't have their own life or their own opinion.
So, which is the role of the husband
in all the story?
Yes.
At the beginning, as a reader, I consider that he will be helpful because he's a doctor, so I expected that he will try to heal her, but it was the opposite because he lives there in the bedroom and he says to her that she cannot go out, and this becomes a problem because we have a woman who is very imaginative, and asking her to do nothing it doesn't make sense at all. So the fact that he also stays all the time out because he says that he has other patients, but come on, who is more important than your own wife who's suffering depression? So I think that he's not a helpful tool. So on the contrary, he's a man that makes her even more ill than he was before.
Okay, so then do you believe that the house has any role in this story?
Yes, because
we
see it like the narrator is talking about the house like a beautiful place, like a sanctuary where she can be well again. Like it's like this kind of hope she has in the house, but at the end it's not completely that. It's a prison, and it is converted to a mental asylum when she becomes mad at all. She loses all the sense, and it leads to her own destruction.
Okay, so do you think there is any chance of hope by the end of the story?
No, not at all. No.
Okay, so in order to conclude, did you like the story?
Sorry. At the end, I was hoping that the husband would help her or would try to make her better, but because it's her wife, so maybe we consider that he would love her. But I was completely disappointed by the fact that the husband lets her alone, and he sees how her wife becomes crazy and he does nothing at all. So in a way, it's really sad that this kind of marriages where people don't care for each other. So I think that it's a kind of advice that if women don't change, we need to create our own role and say our opinion, because if not, men will underestimate us and this situation cannot go on.
Well, Julia, thank you very much. It was a very interesting talk and interview, and I hope we can meet soon again.
Thank you so
very
much.
much.